Good evening, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my series on the professional sports teams that didn't win the championship during that season. So I'm going to continue on with that. Look at the 1994 Supersonics of Seattle. Once upon a time, the Seattle Supersonics played NBA basketball before they relocated to Oklahoma City. During the 90s, the Seattle Supersonics had some good teams, but they didn't win the championship. Well, I'm going to take a look at the 1994 Seattle Supersonics. Now, the 1994 Seattle Supersonics was a team that was geared up to win a championship. The previous year, they lost in the conference finals in Game 7 against the Phoenix Suns, who will go on and play the Bulls in the NBA Finals. So the following year, they were gearing up for the 26th season as a franchise. So during the offseason, the Sonics acquired Detlef Schrempf from the Indiana Pacers, Kendall Gill from the Charlotte Hornets. George Karl was in his third year, and the Suns got off to a great start, winning their first 10 games on their way to a 26-3 start. And the team, Seattle Supersonics, in '94 won 17 of their final 19 games, finishing the season with a franchise best 63-19 record, and they was the #1 seed in the Western Conference. This was a team that was really, the best team in the NBA. They had the best record, but unfortunately, it didn't amount to nothing because they lost in the first round to the Denver Nuggets, a team that had talented players, good players like Dikembe Mutombo, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson. They had Robert Pack, Brian Stiff, Alfonso Ellis, Brian Williams, who would change his name to Bison Dele. Certain players that they had on that team, really good players. And I remember it well. I remember that series very well. Game 5, when Dikembe Mutombo raised the ball up in the air as he was lying down on the floor. The game was over. They won 98-94. And at that time, really, did a #1 seed lose to 8th seed. It was always commonplace that the #1 seed was going to advance against the number 8 seed on a regular basis. It was going to either sweep or win in 4 games. Most of the time, sweep. But unfortunately for the Seattle Supersonics, they became the first team, and for the first time, to lose to a number 8 seed as a #1 seed. And this team was talented, man. They had Ricky Pierce, Michael Cage, Kendall Gill, like I said, Sam Perkins coming off the bench, Nate McMillan. This was a loaded team. We should have won the championship that year, but they ran into a buzzsaw in the form of Denver Nuggets, who were 42-40 during the regular season, and obviously they overachieved, and they were really good. Look at this roster. So you had Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson. They had Alfonso Ellis, Tom Hammonds, Dikembe Mutombo, Robert Pack, Alvin Robinson. I think he was injured. Rodney Rogers, Brian Stiff, Brian Williams, Reggie Williams. Very good team. The Houston Rockets will go on to win the '94 championship, beating the Knicks in 7 games. And instead of the Seattle Supersonics winning the championship, they were 63-19. That's why they deserve to be part of this list, be part of this series of the professional sports teams that didn't win the championship during that season. I saw the Supersonics play during that '94 season. This is Michael Jordan, had retired. Michael Jordan. Here was a chance for somebody to win the championship And one of those teams that had a chance to win a championship was the Seattle Supersonics. But they fell short, losing to the Nuggets in 5 games, 3-2. And this was during the time where the first round was the best of 5. It wasn't always like it is now, the best of 7. It was the best of 5 once upon a time. They were a team that should have won the championship, and they fell short. And nothing else I can say about this team, but they were definitely primed to win it all, to get to the finals. Now, they did get to the finals 3 years later, but I think this is their best team because number one, they had the best record in the league. The Atlanta Hawks in '94 had the number 1 seed in the East, not the Knicks. The Knicks were the number 2 seed. The number 1 seed was Atlanta. So it was wide open in the Eastern Conference. No Michael Jordan. The Bulls were still pretty good, but they wasn't as good. They did win 55 games though, but at the same time, the Hawks was the number 1 seed, but the best team with the overall best record, number 1 overall seed was none other than the Seattle Supersonics. That's what I could say. That was a tough loss for them that year. They could have won the championship. This didn't work out. So that concludes the look at the 1994 Seattle Supersonics, a team that had Shawn Kemp, Gary Payton, Kendall Gill, Detlef Schrempf. This team was loaded. Detlef Schrempf, Ricky Pierce, Sam Perkins. I mean, he's just not a good way to be part of this, list. But I just felt they needed to be part of it because they became the first number 1 seed to lose to an 8th seed in 1994. Number 8 seeds wasn't beating number 1 seeds at that time. The number 1 seeds was always winning. And unfortunately, the Seattle Supersonics did not beat the number 8 seed. Denver Nuggets, they lost in overtime, 98-94. And Denver will go on and lose in the second round to Utah. Utah will end up going to the conference finals and lose to Houston. So Denver, despite that upset, they wasn't able to keep that going in the next round. But that was a great moment for Denver at that time. And I want to talk about the Seattle Supersonics, a team that should have won it all. They were 63-19, but did not win the championship. So that concludes this video. This is part 6 of the professional sports teams that didn't win the championship during that season. Part 6. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you can to support. Until then, talk to you soon. Talk to you tomorrow. I will be doing another video about this series. Good night.